All right, so in my quest for a dust-free workshop, I got this Wood River trash can cyclone lid from Woodcraft. So I'm gonna unbox it here, but I've seen a lot of videos where people are making their own cyclone trash can lid and retrofitting it to the Harbor Freight dust collector, which I also just got. But honestly, I'm sure I could do it. I just don't want to devote the time to it. So this was like 35 or 40 bucks. And I figured it was well worth the time, the effort to just buy this, hopefully as long as it works, instead of trying to make a circle and fit it to a trash can and everything. So we're gonna unbox this, take a look at it real quick. I'm also going to go to Home Depot and bring this along with me, and we'll find out which trash cans this fits on, because that was another big question I had. I think most people just use the metal trash cans, but I really like the Husky trash cans, like this guy. I forget what they're called exactly, but Husky makes this gray trash can that's awesome, and I would love to use that. So we'll see if it fits. I'm not getting my hopes too high. So without further ado, let's open this thing up. All right. One of the easier unpacking experiences. And this is what you get. So you get an elbow, which I presume goes in here because we want the cyclone action, right? And then you get the lid. So this is actually pretty nice. So we'll get a little close-up view of it too. So this is the top, got a little handle on it, the 2 ports in and out. Here's the bottom. It looks like, I just stuck the 90 in there. It looks like you can move it around pretty nicely, but at the same time, it'll stay stuck. So Woodcraft put this little foam gasket on here, which is nice. That'll help get a good seal on the trash can lid to cyclone top interface. So that'll be really good from a pressure CFM dust collection perspective. So Woodcraft does give you a dimension, but I'm gonna go over a couple because they only give you one, and one is not super useful. So outside to outside, the OD looks like it's about 22 1/8 or so going to the outside. And then the inside is right about 20 3/4. So that's going inside to inside. And then this gasket, this little foam guy here, it's about an inch big. So I think that'll help you kind of accommodate different trash cans. If they're not the perfect size, you got an inch on each side of wiggle room that, this will go on. But, one thing I was curious about is whether this would snap on. We just saw when I tried it on that brute force that it didn't really snap on. Which I get, I think, you'd have to have a pretty precise fit for a trash can lid for it to snap on. But I'll have to figure out some way then to kind of bungee this on if I'm gonna use the brute force. So we'll see here. So we're here at the trash can aisle. We're gonna take a look at which cans fit this lid. We're gonna look at the Barron's 31 gallon. It's that metal guy. I think that's what's recommended in metal can. We got some Rubbermaid Roughnecks. We'll look at the 20 and the 32 gallon. We're gonna look at Brute. We'll look at the 32 gallon because I don't have a 32. I can tell you right now that 44 gallon, way too big. And we'll look at the 20 gallon. This is the same one I got in the shop. So we'll check out all these and see what fits. All right, so this metal can is a perfect, almost perfect fit. You can see here, I mean, it's like that all the way around. This is the Barron's metalware 31 gallon. So that's a good fit. Okay, this Brute 32 gallon. Too big. Too big. Can't get it to pop in there. Definitely solid too big. So that's the Brute 32 gallon. Roughneck by Rubbermaid 20 gallon. I'm gonna say too small. It just barely hits that foam gasket, so that's probably too small. All right, the Roughneck 32 gallons, so one step up from the 20. This one is too big. Definitely too big. All right, and this is the Brute 20 gallons. So this is a repeat of what you already saw in the shop. But you can see here, it just barely fits around that gasket. So I'm gonna say this is just a little too small, but if you really wanted to use this trash can, you could probably make it work. All right, no Cyclone review would be complete without a little demo. So I've got a nice little pile of sawdust and other stuff. Got the trash can, the Woodcraft Cyclone Lid on top with I've got a 2-inch on this side, because that's all I had. Kind of your shop vac size. Going out to 4-inch to the Harbor Freight dust collector, which I just set up. If you just got one, make sure to check out my other video, because they give you just a bag of hardware. It's pretty crazy, but I go through how to separate that out and what goes where. So anyway, we're gonna suck this up and we're gonna see how much ends up in the garbage can versus the clear plastic bag. So you can see there's some there already. Well, let's fire it up and see what happens. Okay, so I think there's a little bit more in that bag. It's pretty fine sawdust in there. Let's check this out. And that's where a lot of it is right there. So overall, I think I'm pretty happy with this. Let's see if we can, there we go. It snaps right on that metal garbage can, it's perfect. You know, I've got 10 feet of 4-inch with the coil, some more 4-inch coiled, and then 2-inch coiled. I think that's another 10 feet. So it's pretty inefficient when it comes to dust collection. And you know, even with all of that, I'm pretty happy with what it did. I'm excited to hook it up to my table saw. One other cool thing I noticed is that when you turn on the dust collector, I was a little worried about that lid coming off or popping off, but check this out. So I'll turn it on, and the suction is actually enough that I can pick up the trash can and it'll stay on. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this purchase with the Woodcraft trash can Cyclone Lid. I'm pumped to actually get it set up properly and not have just tons of coiled hose. I think I'll eventually take it off, the dust collector off of the cart, mount it to the wall, have some PVC, and really cut down on the amount of coiled hose, which will really help with the efficiency. So if you end up getting one or you have one, let me know what you think. Curious to hear your thoughts.